So there will be a short break before the next game. Kicks off at 6:40, so in about 8 minutes. Between Tradition YCAC and the A-Trade Overseas Old Boys.
So the action continues. Lovely scenes here in day one of the GFI 10s as the offices around Hong Kong's empty and many come down to enjoy the evening session of the Hong Kong 10s. And a great game here in Pool D. YCAC tradition. Former winners of this competition against the A-Trade Overseas Old Boys, who are seasoned campaigners here at the GFI Hong Kong 10s. And this is going to be an absolute humdinger of a game here, Russell. Both these teams are unbeaten. They've been fantastic all day, and it's really a game here to decide who's going to win the pool on this occasion.
Thank you very much. So we have tradition YCAC against the Old Boys, and it is a big one, this.
It may also be that your spin passes aren't that good.
So, burst out of defence, out of the 22 by the Overseas Old Boys. Pick and go, 16 is Jamie Chipman. Again, Chipman's still in that ruck there at the moment, out wide. Bright red scrum cap on. Trying to burst in and covering the ruck, but it's a good confident start by the Overseas Old Boys. But snagged quickly and pulled down. Again, and it's fumbled, it's gone backwards. But the referee has decided a knock on. And so it looked as if it was all very positive. The Overseas looked as if they started well, but this is a very seasoned side, YCAC. They've had victory, they've had some tragic defeats in some of the finals.
Sound like a Shakespeare poet there, Russell. Here we go, though. They're off and running, throwing it wide. We dance in the skip, tried to get on the outside shoulder, but he's done well. Presents, he has supporterized numbers. Time here, and they get it out once again. YCAC look to build an attack. Punch out the midfield, big carry. A twist in the turn, clean ball. Keeps it alive, trying to work right. Throws a big pass. Oh, it's a good take there. Under all sorts of pressure. Once again they come. Just setting the ball up there. In a half back, he's got time, looks for options, comes to the left, a wee miss pass.
26 coming through, big work there by Benjamin Harris. 27 Mark Adkins. There is Warwick Lemaire, valuable part of that side. Coming back in, stepping inside is Daniel Shrivers, and again clearance is by the big figure of Matt Mason Emerson. And good, strong, powerful run there, Jason Peloz, and the offload, and Sam Furness. And the first score in this important match for YCAC. They've managed to breach the line.
Yeah, just watching the replay here, look, he's done really well. He's stayed big in contact, he's pumped the legs, and he's managed to get the wee backflip out the door here. But the key to try is just the ability for the tradition player there to really pump the legs and stay alive in contact, because you know it buys you time, it buys you support time, and so much of 10s rugby is about staying big in the contact and getting offloads. That's where you can really damage a team there. So you know, a lot of credit to Jason Potros there. He fought really hard to stay on his feet, and he's back in the midfield here about to restart the game.
So the Overseas Old Boys, Ben Harris will be probably the recipient. No, it goes the other side. Taken on the 22, and a burst forward through one tackle. And it's a good drive so far. Again, ground to a bit of a halt now. The counter ruck, the danger here. It could have been stolen, but big challenge. Punch there through the middle, Benjamin Harris. Number 10's Fionn Carr. Villanami Razeri.
That was big Jamie Chipman before for YCAC. He plays for the Tigers Club in Hong Kong and previously captained Counties Manukau, New Zealand. He's a handful, Jamie Chipman. You see him there, blonde hair, big tall boy, but he's rangy. He's pretty skillful and powerful.
And not rolling away. And again, the overseas side's been developed over several attendances to this tournament, and getting better each year.
Yeah, I think, look, it's
better quality.
It's a case of what, you know, for all these sides, you know, we're very much invitational teams, so I think it's who can get the best players for the weekend, or certainly in a couple of days, and which teams can gel quickest on day one, because, you know, most of these squads get together on a Sunday for the first time, and it's, you know, how many sessions can they have, how quickly can they gel and build some key combinations.
So Curtis Reed finds the big figure of Sam Liu. Back across, 6. And a kick ahead and an opportunity here with a foot race. But well covered there, Michael Sylvester. And Mason Emerson, and a score in the corner. And that's Fioncar, the big rangy Fioncar.
Yeah, AC Train Old Boys wasting no time and getting back into this one. Fioncar's been pretty impressive all day. He gets through a ton of work. Great off of him, Harry Sayers. Harry Sayers has had a great first season in the Valley this year, and his first year in Hong Kong rugby. He's a big, powerful winger in 22, he's Harry Sayers, and you know, he signed a full-time contract with the Hong Kong Rugby Union. He's a handful, and he's just shown there a lovely wee offload and great follow-up work, working hard on the outside shoulder. Fioncar to bring YCAC straight back into this one.
And the conversion just slipping past. But so that's Hugo Lennox, number 2 shirt, and that goes straight into touch, so we'll be back for a scrum. Again, YCAC with talismanic figure, playing the number 88, Kyle Keelim O'Donnell, one of 2 brothers.
Both play for the All Black 7s, I think.
Getting a lot of work at the breakdown, and it's been picked up, but intercepted, and it looks like it's going to be a run for home.
And
it's
that
number
man,
16,
Jason Potros again.
Again, he's been very influential so far, and that was an intercept followed by a second intercept.
Yeah, it's just real good pressure. Look, he just took his time to defend, didn't commit to the tackle.
Good hands.
Had Harry Sayers in 2 minds there. You know, really Harry Sayers should have held that and probably run it in for a try, but fortune favours the brave. He was brave in that case in defence, didn't commit to a tackle, and he's ended up with a nice little meat pie there. And
so Jason Potros, and has taken the conversion. It's low, and it's just wide of that left-hand post. But YCAC leading by 12 points to 5.
12 overseas Old Boys 5.
And James Lash gets us going again. Through the hands, lovely big step there, managed to drive through at least 2 tackles. And the scrum half having to dig for those. That's
great name, James Lash, for any rugby player. You'd be wanting to be called Mr. Lash, wouldn't you? What a fantastic name to have to come to Hong Kong Sevens week.
It's a fancy dress name, of course. Out wide, and now we've got pace, but foot in touch. Great defence there, and that was a great challenge there by Charlie Walker. So, back to the match here. Hugo Lennox making a bit of a nuisance for himself. and disrupting the YCAC line out.
Yeah, we've got plenty of height, haven't they? A-Trade Overseas boys between Hugo Lennox and the man we mentioned a few times, Mr. Chipman. Big unit there.
We've not yet seen Kane Hansey, but he is a talisman for this side and on the bench at the moment. But we'll sure to see him at some point. Quick tap and go. Referee blows up for a pen, allows an advantage. That's a shoulder, no arms, and surely a yellow card for that one. Absolutely no effort. And that is a full fist in the face, and I am rather surprised the referee hasn't taken a little bit more on that.
It looked like a wee, as he said, you'll see in the replay, a flat hand. Shouldn't be doing it, and it's a silly penalty, but I think it was a bit of a hello, how you doing?
It's a stepping in there, it's Glenn Cocatini. Ball inside, Curtis Reid, and YCAC now asserting themselves, and a kick ahead, but that's been picked up, and an opportunity now for a downtown, and it's a great little kick, just a foot inside the touchline. And half-time after what was a fairly interesting contest, although none more so than the little scrap at the end.
Yeah, like just a bit of niggle. I think it's good to see. You've got two teams here are both unbeaten today. You know, they both want to win this game, so you're going to get a bit of niggle and a bit of excitement, and I think it just shows how much it means to the players.
Again, the referee was fairly lenient on the ball carrier. No arms in the challenge. It was really a straight. Of course, there was niggles afterwards, but.
So you're talking about Russell. Referees are never wrong. You should know that. Come on. I'll dare you to suggest otherwise.
Oh, they're always right. Maybe just didn't have much of a view of that occasion.
Well, we must say a big thank you to all the referees today, because we all know it, like or lump it, without the men in the middle, there's no such thing as rugby.
So the GFI Hong Kong 10s still got that mantra as the best tournament, or the best 10s tournament in the world, and certainly there is quite a number in the stadium at this point, and enjoying what is the first day of this GFI 10s. YCAC will be looking to step up the game a little further to finish off the A-Trade Overseas Old Boys, and the last thing the YCAC would be looking for would be a close contest at the end of this one.
Yeah, both teams trying to scrap out, see who's going to take out the pool. An exciting contest here, and what, you know, it's been a fantastic day of rugby. I think we've got 1 or 2 more games to go after this. But what a sensational opening day to the GFI Hong Kong 10s.
And a good aerial contact there, and it's ended well for YCAC. And there's Hansey kicking ahead, and it's been picked up, and again another good nudge downfield, and that is probably, oh no, it's been picked up. Number 23, Glenn Cocatini. It's been held up in the contact. In steps Jacob Niepens, and a hefty kick downfield and a knock on. No, the referee's happy enough with that. Here's a step, and a drive. Big figure of Charlie Walker or Harry Sayers. There's two 22 shots on that field at the moment. And then 23 making the tackle is Glenn Cocatini.
That was big.
And he's got the pace to catch up with a burst through there by Max Coyle. 20 is Vilami Rasasasa. And the Overseas Old Boys taking it to YCAC at the start of this second half. And that pick-up deemed illegal, and a penalty for the A-Trade Overseas Old Boys.
Yeah, just seeing the old boys here kind of hammer away at the traditional line. It's important to score quickly and get themselves back into this game.
Yeah, no support there as he was looking for an offload. Opportunity still there. Big finger of Villami. Little short burst and drive. Again, keeping it simple, but it's been turned over, and there's an opportunity now for YCAC, but the whistle is blown, and we are back in front of the posts. A knock on.
Yeah, no advantage there for tradition, so we'll have a little scrum here in front of a sportsman's bar, which is filling up quite nicely here down at the Hong Kong Football Club. So I'm sure leading 12-5 tradition will look to secure the ball here, and it'll be boot the ball, get it down the paddock and get a good chase on, and really try and pressure YCAC into making a mistake and try and get possession back on the halfway line or thereabouts.
So, a tight encounter. YCAC still a bit of work to get done here. They've gone round the blind side, and that's going to be nudged into touch, or it bounces back in nicely. And it's a kick ahead, and it's a lovely pickup. At the same time, Olafemi Solofarin pulled down, close in. There's not much support, and it's been stolen. A lovely jackal, a lovely kick ahead, but it didn't work out. And the big figure, Olafemi Solofarin, missing an opportunity there. They may rue that as this match moves on. Some big, heavy contacts, and the Overseas Old Boys moving it across the field. Now a bit of gas, almost broke that line. Again, it's now been picked up, and I think again has been decided against YCAC. Again, it does appear that both of these sides at any moment could burst into action. Certainly there's some pace out wide. There's quite a substantial line out here as well. Not the best, but it's been retained, and there's a burst up the centre there. Lutavanau, and a big burst through there as well, and no tackle. Again, defence around the breakdown, vital. A lot of tackles being made there at the moment. Ipo Lotoa, Warwick Lemert, clashing with each other. Oh, it's been dropped. It looked as if it went backwards. The referee doesn't think that. And a lot of effort put in there by the Overseas Old Boys, but they sort of went backwards after sort of taking a fair bit of territory, and they'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah, it's good defensive addition. You know, look, Overseas Old Boys, you can have all the ball in the world you want, but just good to show if you can't do anything with it, you're not going to get any reward. So, you know, a couple of breaches, but couldn't really create anything, no kind of spark or cutting edge in defence. And it's probably a case of, look, it's been a long day one. The legs are probably starting to get a wee bit heavy. You know, probably seeing the effects of that. It's been a warm day here in Hong Kong. The humidity's up as well, so a lot of these players haven't played in Hong Kong before. We're feeling the effects of that first time round.
That was a big tackle there. Sylvester looked as if he was clear. Potrois managed to sort of snag him. Again, not the greatest pass, and it's been knocked forward as he tried to pick it off the floor. Big figure of Villami. And Mark Atkins, that contact as well, out wide, and now there's pace and speed from the figure of Polynesia Cretin, and it looks as if he's got a fair bit of pace out wide. Kick ahead, and it's been trapped and controlled. It's another kick ahead. The ball's in a good position. It's been picked up, and a focus And a nice finish for number 15, Savello Ropati of Tradition YCAC. The kick ahead, the ball fell nicely, and it stayed on the floor, which makes it easier. And there was still a twist though.
Yeah, YCAC put this one to bed really now with 3 minutes left in the clock. The conversion should be fairly textbook for Potras as he lines it up, slots it over, and they take a commanding 19-5 lead here against OC's Old Boys. And it looks like
is the scorer.
It looks like Tradition will be top in the pool here on day one.
So James Lash, and yet again it's Jason Potros has been very influential. A couple of tries, assists, and has been certainly an influential figure in this second half and first half. YCAC leading by 19 points to the A-Trade Overseas Old Boys. Looks like the match is beyond the Overseas Old Boys. They put up a fairly decent contest, and I think some of the other sides looking at the performance of YCAC, I think there'll be one or two of the sides will probably fancy that they can take on and beat YCAC.
Yeah, I think, look, YCAC are pretty strong. For me, the pick of the day have probably been Samurai International. They've won every game they played comfortably. Could argue they've had a slightly harder pool, but... Lovely
blind offload, and that is a hat-trick for the figure of Jason Potros, who's had a fantastic match.
Yeah, we're done and dusted here, aren't we? 1 minute 15 left in the clock, but this game is done. Tradition YCAC, too long for the A-Trade Overseas Old Boys in day one here at GFI Hong Kong 10s. 26-10. It's a fairly impressive performance here. So Tradition, same as Galcal, they want to get this done the last 50 minutes here, get back to the hotel, have a good night's sleep, good recovery, and come back tomorrow and challenge for the main trophy here.
So the Overseas Old Boys again carrying out of the 22. Again, there's quite a challenge going on there with Warwick Lemaire, who is the heart and soul of this side. 14, Masson Emerson has been, and again there's a bit of extras going on there involving Kylan O'Donnell.
He's ginger, he's angry, and he's obviously not happy with the hair colour he's been given, so determined to get his aggression out.
The number 2 there, Hugo Lennox, and that's it's all a bit ugly at the moment. Nobody really getting their hands on it. The referee's going to come back.
No, he's not. The touch truck has got his flag out, so a touch judge has seen something he wants to report. So the touch judge or the assistant referee and the referee will now form a committee, and we'll...
You do like your committees, don't you?
We'll discuss in detail what happened, and I'm sure we'll see a card or a penalty or something here. The referee is calling out, I think it's going to be that man. I think we might see what's happening here. Oh, we're squaring up in the middle of the pitch here. A real bit of niggle on this game. Neither side willing to back down. O'Donnell could be in trouble here. He is indeed. He's got that yellow card finally. He's been chirping away all day, and finally he gets his 3 minutes in the sin bin.
That's probably his justice, given some of the niggles that have gone on over the course of this match. Not really going to be much time to spend on that. Again, O'Donnell on on the bench now. Again, a burst out from Fionn Carr, and the pace is there from Jamie Bardin. He hasn't really had much opportunities so far to get that electric pace going. And again, there's another big challenge there by the big figure of Mason Emerson, bringing down his man. Strong tackles. Again, driving over, counter ruck's been successful. Again, there's another counter ruck and there's another scrap going on over the ball here at the moment. Again, that figure of Warwick Lammert, influential, working hard, feisty individual. And again, it's very ugly at the moment. Savello Rogati, and that's been kicked into touch. And that is it. And the final score of Tradition YCAC against Overseas Old Boys.
Both teams go through to a cup quarter-final.